Hey, hi, how's it going? Just a quick little announcement for this. The game got all weird and my PC actually crashed during this first about 15 minutes of the recording, as well as my audio crashing. So because it was a very important part of the game, I still have the gameplay. So the audio will be there for parts of it because the audio also got a little bit weird. And then it's just gonna be the gameplay because I sort of need to show that part of the story, and then the rest of the episode will be normal. But I just wanted to let you guys know that, just because it's a very important part of the game, and thankfully I still have the gameplay. But because of the game and the way that it works, I can't go back and replay it. Otherwise, I would have, but I can't go back and replay it. This is what I have. I'm sorry that this episode is really weird, but yeah, that's that. So this first part will be just audio, just the voiceover audio, no face cam, and then my voice will actually go away because the audio got all weird and corrupted and stuff as well. But then after the first 15 minutes, it should be a normal episode. So anyway, enjoy the video. Okay, bye.
What is up, my cranky crew? It's Ethan from Great Gameplays, and today we are back in more of Doki Doki Literature Club. In the last episode, it started to get a little bit weird. It got really sad at first, because Sayori confessed to us that she had really bad depression, which was really sad. And then we went back to our house, and Yuri was there to help out with the little project that we were doing. And then I happened to cut my finger on her crazy knife that she had, and then she just put my finger in her mouth, which is real weird. So I'm gonna tell you what I think. Please don't do any spoilers in the comments. I mean, you can give your opinion on things if you legitimately don't know what's happening, but if you do know the ending to this game and you do know what's happening, and I don't, I haven't been reading the comments at all because I'm afraid of it being spoiled. But, so again, please don't post any spoilers in the comments. It just ruins it for everybody. But let me know what your thoughts are on this, or what your little things are. But I think that Yuri might be some sort of weird vampire because she got all weird when I started bleeding. And she's always wearing like comfy, like sweatery clothes and stuff, I think. And so I don't know. And she's like the stereotypical, like kind of like goth girl. So it would kind of make sense. It's the day of the festival. Of all days, I expected this to be the one where I'd be walking to school with Sayori. But Sayori isn't answering her phone. I considered going to her house to wake her up, but decided that's a little too much. Meanwhile, the preparations for the event should be nearly complete. The banner Yuri and I painted is dry, and I gently rolled it up to take with me. She sent me a pleasant text reminding me not to forget anything, and I reassured her. Funnily enough, I probably feel the same way as Natsuki about the event. I'm more excited to be for it to be over so I can spend time with Sayori and Yuri at the festival. But knowing Monica, I'm sure the event will be great too. Ethan, you're the first one here. Hey, hi, how's it going? Thanks for being early. That's funny. I thought at least Yuri would be here by now. Monica is placing little booklets on each of the desks in the classroom. They must be the ones she prepared that has all the poems we're performing. In the end, I found a random poem online that I thought Monica would like and submitted it. So that's the one I'll be performing. I'm surprised you didn't bring Sayori with you. Yeah, she overslept again. That dummy. You'd think on days this important, she'd try a little harder. I say that, but I suddenly remember what Sayori told me yesterday, and I suddenly feel awful knowing it's not nearly that simple for her. I only said it because it's the way I'm used to thinking, but maybe I should have gone and maybe I should have gone to wake her up after all. You should take a little responsibility for her, Ethan. I mean, especially after your exchange with her yesterday. You kind of left her hanging this morning, you know? How do you know these things? Monica, you know about that? Of course I do. I'm the club president after all. But, I stammer, embarrassed, but did Sayori really tell her about it that quickly? That we're a couple now? I didn't plan on bringing it up with anyone yet. Jeez, you don't know the full story at all, so don't worry. I probably know a lot more than you think. You're being a little bit creepy, and it's a little creepy too that there's no cheery music playing like there usually is, huh? Monica is being as friendly as usual, but for some reason, I felt a little chill down my spine after hearing that. Hey, do you want to check out the pamphlets? They came out really nice. Yeah, sure. I grab one of the pamphlets and lay it out on the desks. Oh yeah, they really did. Something like this will definitely help people take the club more seriously. Yeah, I thought so too. I flip through the pages. Each member's poem is neatly printed on its own page, giving it an almost professional feel. I recognize Natsuki and Yuri's poems from the one they performed during our practice. What's this? I flip to Sayori's poem. It's different from the one she practiced. It's one that I haven't read before. Ooh. Ooh. That is super bad. But a poem is never actually finished. It just stops moving. Get out of my head before I do what I know is best for you. Get out of my head before I listen to everything she said to me. Get out of my head before I show you how much I love you. Get out of my head before I finish writing this poem. Before I listen to everything she said to me, is that her saying something about Monica? Because here's another thing. Monica just knows everything that's going on. Either she's spying, which may be true, or Sayori really is telling her everything, which I doubt, or she is inside of all of our heads. What is this? Reading the poem, I get a pit in my stomach. Ethan? What's wrong? Nothing. This poem feels completely different from everything else Sayori's written. But more than that, I changed my mind. I'm going to get Sayori, so... well, all right. Try not to take too long, okay? Okay. I quickly leave the classroom. Don't strain yourself, Monica calls out after me. I quicken my pace. So, again, just to reiterate from the very first episode, if you're watching this series, then you probably already know, but there was a warning at the beginning of this game, like, it's there every time I open the game, that says that, like, children shouldn't play this game. There's a bunch of warnings about how you shouldn't play this game if you suffer from depression or anxiety, or if things like self-harm and stuff really get to you. So just throwing that out there again, because we are going to Sayori's house, and after the conversation yesterday, and again, I don't know what's going to happen, but I just wanted to warn everybody again, and that goes for the rest of the series as well. So if any of those things apply to you, you may not want to watch these videos. Just wanted to make sure that is thrown out there. So yeah, okay, let's continue. What was I thinking? I should have tried a little bit harder for Sayori. It's not a big deal to at least wait for her or to help wake her up. Even the simple gesture of walking her to school makes her feel really happy. Besides, I told her yesterday that things will be the same as they always have been. That's all she needs, and that's what I want to give her. I reach Sayori's house and knock on the door. I don't expect an answer since she's not picking up her phone either. Like yesterday, I opened the door and let myself in. Sayori? She really is a heavy sleeper. I swallow. I can't believe I ended up doing this after all. Why is there no music? It's so creepy. Waking up in her own house. That really is something that a boyfriend would do, isn't it? In any case, it just feels right. Outside Sayori's room, I knock on her door. Sayori! Wake up, dummy! There's no response. I really didn't want to have to enter a room like this. Isn't it kind of a breach of privacy? But she really leaves me no choice. I gently open the door. Ah! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! Oh no! That's what I feared! An exception has occurred? Line 307, see traceback text for details? What the hell? What the hell? Is this a nightmare? Ah! This is exactly why I said this right before, because I had a feeling. Okay, I just want to get through this as fast as I can. This isn't real. There's no way that this can be real. Sayori wouldn't do this. Everything was normal until up until a few days ago. That's why I can't believe what my eyes are showing me. I had a feeling that was gonna happen. So it said like an exception has occurred, and then the file name, and then the line. So there was one line that I said that fucked it all up. I suppressed the urge to vomit. Just yesterday, I told Sayori I would be there for her. I told her I know what's best, that everything will be okay. Then why? Why would she do this? How could I be so helpless? What did I do wrong? Confessing to her. I shouldn't have confessed to her. That's not what Sayori needed at all. She even told me how painful it is for others to care about her. Then why did I confess her? So that's what I messed up? It was the I love you line. Because I felt weird about saying it because, like, of all of her feelings and stuff. Why did I confess to her and make her feel even worse? Why was I so selfish? This is my fault. My swarming thoughts keep telling me everything I could have done to prevent this. If I just spent more time with her, walked her to school, and remained friends with her like I had always been, then I could have prevented this. I know I could have prevented this. Screw the literature club. Screw the festival. I just lost my best friend. Someone I grew up with. She's gone forever now. Nothing I do can bring her back. This isn't some game where I can reset and try something different. I had only one chance, and I wasn't careful enough. And now I'll carry this guilt with me until I die. Nothing in my life is worth more than hers, but I still couldn't do what she needed from me. And now I can never take it back. Never. 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 End? Screen's looking a little bit weird, yeah? Okay, so I just started recording Doki Doki Literature Club again. This may be me repeating myself, and you may be seeing me say this right after all this happened, but... So the reason why Monica is all glitched out over here, and it's not Sayori, is because when I was recording, Sayori didn't... I was just recording, and it was the day of the festival, and Sayori didn't show up for school, and I was wondering why. And then I went to go and pick up Sayori, and I went into her room, and Sayori had hanged herself. And so then the game started glitching out, and it said that the file was corrupt and that this character didn't exist anymore. And so Sayori, because she killed herself in the game, doesn't exist anymore. And so I had to restart the game, and then I started, like, from scratch. I had to start a new game. But now Sayori doesn't exist in the game, and it's Monica. And so all this glitchy weird stuff was happening, and I don't know if this is... I don't know how this could be part of a game. I think it was just a coincidence, but during all this glitchy shit, my computer fucking blue screened. So if you don't know what that means, my computer just like shut off and said there was a blue screen and said that the PC needed to repair itself. And so it went through all the repairs like normal. So my PC like shit itself. I think it's just a coincidence. I'm not sure, but all of that recording is corrupt now, which I'm a little bit pissed about because that was a big part of the game. I'll try and get it back if I can. It may just be gameplay and maybe audio because I was able to recover the audio files, but I think the face cams are completely gone. But all of the gameplay looks corrupted as well. So we'll see what happens, but I'm thoroughly creeped out because like, that had to have just been a coincidence, right? Like, the game can't make my computer fucking blue screen, right? I don't know, but now Sayori's character, because Sayori is dead, now is a glitched out version of Monica and has this name, I guess, or like some of this is weird, I don't know. But now there's no slot! There's no previous game! I have to restart. It's fucking fucked. And now all this shit is happening. Will my computer blue screen again? I see an annoying girl running toward me from the distance, waving her arms in the air like she's totally oblivious from any attention she may try to herself. That girl is blah, my neighbor and good friend since we were children. You know the kind of girl, so it's all the same dialogue from the beginning. Starting around high school, she would oversleep more and more frequently. I would get tired of waiting up. Gonna chase after me like this. I always feel better off running away. However, I just sigh and idle in front of the crosswalk and let the catch up to me. See, it does this shit. What the fuck? It's an ordinary school day like any other. Mornings are usually worse, being surrounded by couples and friend groups walking to school together. I'm gonna plug in my SD card into my camera because I have my camera recording to my computer, and I wanna make sure that I get my reaction. Okay, sorry. I just wanted to make sure my camera was recording internally and not externally to the computer because those face cam files might get fucked again. Meanwhile, I've always walked to school alone. It's all the same dialogue from the beginning, pretty much. But when we go to school, it's different because Sayori doesn't exist anymore. School day is as ordinary as ever. It's over before I know it. After I pack up my things, I stare blankly at the wall looking for one's motivation. Clubs. There really aren't any that interest me. Besides, this dialogue seems simplified as well. Because, like, just staring at the wall and going, clubs. Did that happen? I don't know. This game is freaking me out, dude! Too demanding for me to want to deal with. I guess I have no choice but start with the anime club. Ethan? What the fuck? Monica? Oh my goodness, so this is where my blue screen, my computer blue screen before. Totally didn't expect to see you here. It's been a while, right? Yeah, it has. Monica smiles sweetly. We do know each other. Well, we rarely talk, but we were in the same class last year. Monica was probably the most popular girl in class. Smart, beautiful, athletic. Basically completely out of my league. So having her smile at me so genuine feels a little weird. Fucking weird. She's some weird glitchy person. Did you come in? What did you come in here for anyway? I've just been looking for some supplies for my club. You know if there's any construction paper in here or markers? Guess you could check the closet. You're in the debate club, right? About that, I actually quit the debate club. Really? You quit? Yeah. To be honest, I can't stand all the politics around the major clubs. Feels like nothing but a budget and publicity, blah, 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 blah. Much rather take something I personally enjoy and make something special out of it. In that case, what club did you decide to join? Actually, I'm starting a new one. A literature club. Literature? Sounds kind of dull. How many members do you have so far? It's kind of embarrassing, but there are only 3 of us. Natsuki, Yuri, Monica. It's really hard to find new members for something that sounds so boring. Well, I could see that, but it's not really boring at all, you know? Literature could be anything, reading, writing, poetry. One of my members even keeps her manga collection in the club room. It's funny, right? She always insists that manga is literature chew. I mean, she's not wrong, I guess. A member is a member, right? Did Monica say she? Okay, so this is past where I got to before. Are you still looking to join a club? I mean, I guess so, but in that case, is there any chance you could do me a big favor? I won't ask you to join, but if you could at least visit my club, it would make me really happy. Please? Guess I have no reason to refuse. Besides, how could I ever refuse someone like Monica? Sure, I guess I could check it out. Awesome. You're really sweet, Ethan, you know that? It's nothing, really. Shall we go then? I'll look for the materials another time. You're more important. Dude, this is fucking weird. And thus today marks the day I sold my soul to Monica and her irresistible smile. Don't even joke about that. Don't even joke about that with me right now. I timidly follow Monica across the school and upstairs, a section of the school I rarely visit, being generally used for the third-year classes and activities. Monica, full of energy, swings open the classroom door. I'm back, and I brought a guest with me. Fucking Christ. Girl 1? Oh wait, this was the same. Seriously, you brought a boy? Way to kill the atmosphere. Don't be mean, Natsuki. But anyway, welcome to the club, Ethan. All words escape me in this situation. This club is full of incredibly cute girls. Wouldn't say that. Wouldn't say that. Especially not for Monica, because she's a fucking demon. You're Monica's boyfriend, right? No, I'm not. Natsuki, the girl with the sour attitude whose name is apparently Natsuki, is the one I recognize. Her small figure makes me think she's probably a first year. Anyway, this is Natsuki, energetic as usual. And this is Yuri, the vice president. Oh, you're the vice president now. Nice to meet you. Yuri, who appears comparably more mature and timid, seems to have a hard time keeping up with someone like Natsuki. Yeah, it's nice to meet both of you. So I ran into Ethan in a classroom, and he decided to come check out the club. Isn't that great? No, it's not great. I don't want to be here. Wait, Monica, didn't I tell you to let me know in advance before you brought anyone new? I was going to, well, you know, make cupcakes, probably filled with poison. Didn't forget that. I just happened to run into him. In that case, at least I should make some tea, right? That'd be great. Why don't you come and sit down? Sit down in some weird death chair, probably? Girls have a few desks around to form a table. Yuri walks to the corner of the room and opens the closet. Meanwhile, Monica and Natsuki sit across from each other. Still feeling awkward, I take a seat next to Monica. So I know you didn't really plan on coming here, but we'll make sure you feel right at home, okay? Yeah, I feel right at home right now. As president of the Literature Club, it's my duty to make the club fun and exciting for everyone. Get that fucking smile off of your face. Surprised there aren't more people in the club yet. It must be hard to start a new club. Yeah, especially when you're a demon! You could put it that way. Not many people are very interested in putting out all the effort to start something brand new, especially when it's something that doesn't grab the attention like literature. You have to work hard to convince people that you're both fun and worthwhile. Make school events like the festival much more important. I'm confident that we can all really grow in this club before we graduate. Right, Natsuki? Well, I guess. Natsuki reluctantly agrees. Such different girls, all interested in the same goal. Monica must have worked really hard to find these two. Yuri returns to the table carrying the tea set. She carefully places a teacup in front of each of us before setting down the teapot. You keep a whole tea set in this classroom? Don't worry, the teachers gave us permission. After all, doesn't a hot cup of tea help you enjoy a good book? I guess. Don't let yourself get intimidated. Yuri's just trying to impress you. That's not... Salted Yuri looks away. Dude, I can't trust any of these girls now. I mean, I didn't really before, but holy shit. I believe you. Well, tea and reading might not be a pastime for me, but at least I enjoy tea. I'm glad. Yuri faintly smiles to herself in relief. So, Ethan, what kinds of things do you like to read? Considering how little I've read in these past few years, I don't really have a good way of answering that. Manga. I mutter quickly to myself, half joking. Natsuki's head suddenly perks up. Looks like she wants to say something, but she keeps quiet. Not much of a reader, I guess. Well, that could change. What am I saying? I spoke without thinking after seeing Yuri's sad smile. Anyway, what about you, Yuri? Well, let's see. Yuri traces the rim of her teacup with her finger. My favorite things are usually novels that are deep and complex fantasy worlds. Because you're a fucking vampire, maybe? The level of creativity and craftsmanship behind them is amazing to me. And tell such a good story in a foreign world is equally impressive. Yuri goes on, clearly passionate about her reading. She seems so reserved and timid since the moment I walked in. I'm sorry that I'm like speed reading. I'm just nervous. It's obvious by the way her eyes light up that she finds her comfort in the world of books, not people. Because she eats them. But you know, I like a lot of things. Stories with deep psychological elements usually immerse me as well. Isn't it amazing how a writer can be so deliberately take advantage of your own lack of imagination to completely throw you for a loop? Anyway, I've been reading a lot of horror recently. Ah, horror! I desperately grasp something I can relate to at a minimal level. At this rate, Yuri might as well be having a conversation with a rock. I'd expect that from you, Yuri. It suits your personality. Oh, is that so? Really, if a story makes me think or takes me to another world, then I really can't put it down. Monica, you probably relate to horror a little bit, don't you? Surreal horror is often very successful at changing the way you look at the world, if not only for a brief moment. I hate horror. Why is that? Well, Natsuki's eyes dart at me over for a split second. Never mind. That's right, you usually like to write about cute things, don't you, Natsuki? You seem really condescending right now, Monica. What gives you that idea? You left a piece of scrap paper behind the club, behind last meeting. It looked like you were working on a poem called, Don't Say It Out Loud! Give it back! Fine, fine. Natsuki, you write your own poems? I guess sometimes. Why do you care? I think that's impressive. Why don't you share them sometime? No! Natsuki averts her eyes. You wouldn't like them. Not very confident writer yet. I understand how Natsuki feels. Sharing that level of writing takes more than just confidence. The truest form of writing is writing to oneself. You must be willing to open up your readers, exposing your vulnerabilities, and showing even the deepest reaches of your heart. Do you have writing experience too, Yuri? Maybe if you share some of your work, you can set an example and help Natsuki feel comfortable enough to share hers. I guess it's the same for Yuri. We all sit in silence for a moment. Hey, I just got an idea. How about this? Natsuki and Yuri look quizzically at Monica. Let's all go home and write a poem of our own. All right, we'll meet and share them with each other. All right, I am also rushing through this a little bit because a lot of this we've already heard. I mean, I thought it was a good idea. Well, I think you're right, Monica. We should probably just start finding activities for all of us to participate in together. I did decide to take the responsibility of vice president, after all. I need to do my best to nurture the club as well as its members. Besides, now that we have a new member, it seems like a good step for us to take. Do you agree, Ethan? Hold on, there's still one problem. What's that? Now that we've reached the most important topic, I bluntly come forth with what's been going on my mind this entire time. I never said that I would join this club. Monica may have convinced me to stop by, but I never made a decision. I still have other clubs to look at, and I lose my train of thought. All the girls stare back at me with dejected eyes. But I'm sorry, I thought, yeah. The girls exchange glances before Monica turns back to me. I guess I needed to tell you the truth, Ethan. The thing is, we don't have enough members yet to form an official club. We need 4. And I've been trying really hard to find new members. And if we don't find one more member before the festival, defenseless against these girls. How am I supposed to make a clear-headed decision when they're demons? I feel terrible for letting everyone down in this situation. And besides, the club itself seems pretty relaxed. So if writing poems is the price I need to pay in order to spend every day with these beautiful girls. Right, okay, I decided then. I'll join the literature club. One by one, the girls' eyes lighten up. Oh my goodness, really? Do you really mean that, Ethan? Yeah, could be fun, right? You did really scare me for a moment. I mean, if you really just left after all this, I would be super pissed. After all this, we've had a conversation. A single conversation. I'm so happy. We can become an official club now. Thank you so much for this. You're really amazing. I don't trust you at all. I'll do everything I can to give you a great time. I'm sure it'll be a great time. Thanks, I guess. All right, everyone. I think with that, we can officially end today's meeting on a good note. Remember tonight's assignment. Write a poem to bring to the next meeting so we can all share. Monica looks at me once more. Ethan, I look forward to seeing how you express yourself. Yeah. Can I really impress the class star Monica with my mediocre writing skills? I already feel the anxiety welling up inside me. Meanwhile, the girls continue to chit-chat as Yuri cleans the tea set. I guess I'll be on my way then. Okay, I'll see you tomorrow then. I can't wait. With that, I depart the club and make my way home. The whole way, my mind wanders back and forth between these girls, Natsuki, Yuri, and of course Monica. Will I really be happy spending every day after school in literature club? Perhaps I'll have a chance to grow closer to one of these girls. All right, I'll just need to make the most of my circumstances, and I'm sure my good fortune will find me. And I guess that starts with writing a poem tonight. Dude, fuck this. You have unlocked a special poem. Would you like to read it? Oh no. Oh no. Okay. All right. I guess we'll try and do this. I'm just gonna go through and pick random ones. I'm not gonna even try and cater to any one of them. I'm just gonna go through and see what happens. Because I don't want to cater to anyone. I just want everyone to not be a part of my life. I don't think that anybody should be interested in me in any way, shape, or form. Hi again. Glad to see you didn't run away on us. I wish that I had. Nah, don't worry. This might be a little strange, but at least I keep my word. I guess. I'm back at the literature club. I was the last to come in, so everyone is already hanging out. Thanks for keeping your promise, Ethan. Hope this isn't too overwhelming of a commitment for you, making you dive headfirst into a literature when you're not accustomed to it. The fuck? Come on, he deserves any slack. You already had to be dragged here by Monica. I don't know if you plan just to come here to hang out or what. If you don't take us seriously, then you won't see the end of it. What does that mean? You're in front of the dialogue. I can't read it. Natsuki certainly gave a big mouth of Natsuki finds herself stuck between saying Monica and manga. Manga is literature. Why was Monica even there? Swiftly defeated, Natsuki plops into her seat. I'm sorry, Ethan. I'll make sure to put your comfort first, okay? Yes, thank you. I feel very fucking comfortable right now. Not uncomfortable in the slightest. Yuri shoots Natsuki with a disappointed glance. Anyway, now that you're in the literature club and all, perhaps you might be interested in picking up a book to read. I can't really say no either way. Like you said, I'm in this club now. It only feels right for me to do something like that if you ask. Why did the pitch change? Wait, I didn't mean it like that. You really don't, if you really don't want to, then forget I said anything, I guess. No, it's not that, Yuri. I want to try and be a part of this club, so even if I don't read often, I'd be happy to pick up a book if you wanted me to. You sure? I just feel like, well, as vice president and all, that I should help you get started on something you might like. Yuri reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. I didn't want you to feel left out, so I picked up a book I thought you might enjoy. How to Be a Fucking Murderer. It's a short read, so it should keep your attention, even if you don't usually read. And we could, discuss it if you really wanted. How is this girl accidentally being so cute? She even picked out a book that she thinks I'll like, despite me not reading much. Yuri, thank you. I'll definitely read this. Enthusiastically take the book. Phew. You can read it at your own pace. I look forward to hearing what you think. Now that everyone's settled in, I expected Monica to kick off some scheduled activities for the club, but that doesn't seem to be the case. Yuri's face is already buried in a book. I can't help but notice her intense expression, like she was waiting for this chance. Meanwhile, the pitch keeps shifting, and it's really unsettling. Natsuki is rummaging around in the closet. I'm really curious to talk to Yuri a little bit more, but at the same time, I would feel bad for distracting her from reading. I catch a glimpse of the cover of her book. It looks like the same book that she lent to me. More than that, she seems to be on the first few pages. Crap. I think she noticed me looking at her. She sneaks another glance at me, and our eyes meet for a split second. But that only makes her hide her face deeper in her book. Sorry, I was just spacing out. Mutter this, sensing I made her uncomfortable. Oh, it's fine. If I was focused, then I probably wouldn't have noticed in the first place. We've heard all this before. I'm just rereading a bit of this, so. It's the book you gave me, right? Uh-huh. Wanted to reread some of it. Not for any particular reason. Just curious how you have 2 copies of the same book. Well, I stopped at the bookstore yesterday, and that's not what I meant. I mean, it's happened to buy 2 of them. Yeah, sure. Fairly obvious here what Yuri isn't telling me, but I decided to let it go. I'll definitely start reading it soon. Glad to hear. Once it starts to pick up, you might have a hard time putting it down. It's a very engaging and relatable story. Is that so? What's the story about anyway? Well, I look at the cover of the book. The book is titled Portrait of Markov. There's an ominous-looking eye symbol on the front cover. Basically, it's about this religious camp that was turned into a human experiment prison, and people trapped there and have this trait that turns them into killing machines that lust for blood. Kinda like you, probably. But the facility gets even worse, and they start selectively breeding people by cutting off their limbs and affecting them to... It might be a little bit of a spoiler, but anyway, I'm really into it. The book, I mean. Not about the limbs. Are you sure about that? That's kind of dark, isn't it? Yuri made it sound like it was going to be a nice story, so that dark turn came out from nowhere. Kinda like this game. Are you not a fan of that sort of thing, Ethan? It's not that. I mean, I can definitely enjoy those kind of stories, so don't worry. Hope so. I totally forgot that Yuri's into those things. She's so shy and reclusive on the outside, but her mind seems to be completely different. It's just this kind of story. It's the kind that challenges you to look at life from a strange new perspective. When horrible things happen, not just because someone wants to be evil, but because the world is full of horrible people and we're all worthless anyway. Then suddenly, I'm rambling, aren't I? Not again, I'm sorry. Don't apologize, I haven't lost interest. I have! I would like to speak for myself here. I've lost interest in you, in all of these girls. I guess it's all right then. I feel like I should let you know that I have this problem. When I let things like books and writing fill my thoughts, my whole... What did that say? I forgot to pay attention to other people. What did that say? I didn't read it fast enough. Sorry if I end up saying something strange, and please stop me if I start talking too much. I really don't, and that wasn't me accidentally skipping. It just was there and then gone. I really don't think you need to worry. It just means you're passionate about reading. The least I can do is listen. It's literature club after all. That's true. In fact, I might as well get started on reading it, right? Yes. I mean, you don't have to, but what are you saying? Let me just get the book. I retrieved the book that I had put into my bag. All right, it's fine if I sit here, right? I slip into the seat next to Yuri's. Yeah, are you sure? Seem to be a little apprehensive. I'm sorry. It's not that I don't want you to. It's something that I'm very used to. It's reading in company with someone. I see. If I end up distracting you or anything, let me know. All right. Open the book. I soon understand what Yuri means about reading in company. I can feel her presence on my shoulder. Oh, this is not particularly bad or anything. Maybe a little distracting. Yuri's in the corner of my eye. I realize she's not actually looking at her own book. Glance over. She's reading from my book instead. Sorry, I was just bathing in the... Don't apologize. I didn't really mean to. Sorry, I mean... Here, this should work, right? Slide my desk. Don't go near her. Slide my desk up until it's against Yuri's, then hold my book between the two of them. I suppose so. Yuri timidly closes her own copy. Once we lean in a little bit, our shoulders are almost touching. Don't touch her. Feels like I left my arm in the way, so instead I just use my right hand to hold the book open. Guess it kind of makes it difficult to turn the page. Here. Yuri takes her left arm and holds, I am afraid of you. I do the same with my right arm and the right side of the book. Yuri slides it under her thumb after flipping it to the side, but holding it like this. We're hardly even closer than before. I actually got it distracting. I feel the warmth of Yuri's face in the corner of my eye. You ready? I turn the page. Sorry, I got a little bit distracted. Glance over Yuri's face again and our eyes meet. I don't know if I'll be able to keep up with her. You are so creepy. It's okay, you're not used to reading, right? I don't mind if being patient takes you a little longer. It's probably the least I can do since you've been so patient with me. Yeah, thanks. We continue reading. Yuri no longer asks me if I'm ready to turn the page. Instead, I just assume that she finishes before me, so I turn it by my own volition. We continue the first chapter in silence. Even so, turning the page feels almost like an intimate exchange. My thumb gently letting go of the page, letting it flutter over to her side as she catches it on her own thumb. Yuri, this might be a silly thought, but the main character kind of reminds me of you. That is a weird... I don't relate to this character at all. Definitely not. Really? I was just thinking of the way she second guesses everything she says and all that. Ah, that's what you're talking about. Sorry. Thought you meant something else about her. Oh, like how she likes to rip people's arms off, I'm sure. Something else? Never mind. We didn't even get that far yet. So I don't know why that came into my head. Are you feeling all right? Yuri's been a little fidgety since we started reading. You can rest if you're feeling sick or something. Your breathing is a little... Am I breathing? Yuri puts her hand on her chest as if to feel her heartbeat. I didn't even notice. Anyway, I'm fine. You're fucking creepy. I just need some water. Don't push yourself. Yuri stands up and practically rushes out of the classroom. What on earth was that about? Ethan, did something happen just now? Oh no! I have no idea. Yuri was acting a little strange, I guess. So you don't know anything. Sorry, I can't say I do. Are you worried about her? Oh, no, not really. Just making sure that you didn't do anything to her. This is exactly what happened with Sayori. Nothing. Don't worry, I believe you, silly. Yuri just does things sometimes, so it's nothing alarming. If you say so. Anyway, why don't we start sharing our poems with each other? Shouldn't we wait for Yuri? She might be a while, so I just figured we'd get started without her. Is that okay? Sure, I guess. Make a mental note of where I left off in the book, then slip it back into my bag. Let's go to Natsuki because she seems to be semi-normal, kind of, right now. Told Natsuki I was interested in her poems yesterday. It's probably only fair if I share mine with her first. Well, it's about what I expected from someone like you. That's a little blunt. Well, excuse me. It's not like it said it was bad. It just didn't evoke any emotions. So basically, it's not cute enough for your taste. Do you want to get smacked? I'll pass. Well, anyway, I guess I need to show you mine. Not that you'll like it. Eagles can fly, monkeys can climb, crickets can leap, horses can race, owls can seek, cheetahs can run, eagles can fly, people can try, but that's about it. Okay, normal poem. I mean, sort of. I told you you weren't gonna like it. I like it. What? Just be honest. I am. Why are you so convinced that I wouldn't like it? Well, because everyone in high school thinks that writing has to be all sophisticated and stuff. So people don't even... dude, I don't know what to think right now. I'm so unsettled. Isn't this the point of poems for people to express themselves? Your writing style wouldn't make your message any less valid. Yeah, exactly. I like it when it's easy to read, but it hits you hard. Like in this poem, seeing everyone around you do great things can be really disheartening. So I decided to write about it. I understand. But the other nice thing about simple writing is that it just puts more weight on wordplay. Like I set up for a rhyme at the end, but then make it fall flat on purpose. It brings out the feeling of the last line. So you did. I guess I'm more into it than I realized. But that's just what it means to be a pro. I'm glad you learned something. Didn't expect that from the youngest one here, did you? Yeah, I guess not. I decided to humor her with that last comment. I really don't care how old everyone is, but if Natsuki is feeling proud, then I don't want to take that away from her. Who should I read my poem to next? I guess Monica. Hi, Ethan. Having a good time so far? No. Yeah, good to hear it. By the way, since you're new and everything, if you ever have any suggestions for the club, like new activities or things we can do better, things you can do better, there's a lot. I'm always listening. Don't be afraid to bring things up, okay? All right, I'll keep that in mind. I'm always listening? Of course I'll be afraid to bring things up. I'm just much better off going with the flow until I'm more settled in. Anyway, want to share your poem with me? It's kind of embarrassing, but I guess I have to. Don't worry, Ethan. We're all a little embarrassed today, you know? But it's sort of the barrier, and that we'll learn to get past soon. That's true. I hand Monica my poem. Great job, Ethan. I was going ooh in my head while reading it. It's really metaphorical. Not sure why, but I didn't expect you to go for something so deep. Guess I underestimated you. It's easiest for me to keep everyone's expectations low. That way, it always counts when I put in some effort. It's not very fair, but I guess it worked anyway. You know that Yuri likes this kind of writing. Writing's full of imagery and symbolism. Sometimes I feel like Yuri's mind is just totally detached from reality. I don't mean like it's a bad thing though, but sometimes I get the impression that she's really given up on people. She spends so much time in her own head that it's probably a much more interesting place for her. But that's why she gets really happy when you treat her with a lot of kindness. I don't think she's used to being indulged like that. She must be really starved for social interaction, so don't blame her for coming on a little strongly. Like earlier, I think she gets too stimulated. She ends up withdrawing and looking for alone time. Suddenly the door opens. Yuri! I'm back! Didn't miss anything, not really. We're all started sharing our poems. Already? Sorry for being late. No need to apologize. We still have plenty of time to die! So... Oh, all right, thanks, Monica. I suppose I should go get my poem. Do you want to read my poem? I guess. Sound pretty confident for someone who claims to be not very good. It's because I have to sound confident. All right, let's read it. He wasn't looking at me, confused. I frantically glance at my surroundings, but my burned eyes can no longer see color. There are others in this room? Are they talking? Or are they simply poems on flat sheets of paper that sound frantic, like playing tricks on my ears? The room begins to crinkle, closing in on me. The air I breathe dissipates before it reaches my lungs. I panic. There must be a way out. It's right there. He's right there. Swallowing my fears, I brandish my pen. I don't like it. It's very freeform, if that's what you call it. Sorry, I'm not really the right person to ask for feedback. It's okay. Kind of style that's gotten pretty popular nowadays. That's it. A lot of poems have been really putting emphasis on the time in between words and lines. When performed out loud, it can be really powerful. What's the inspiration behind this one? Well, I'm not sure if I know how to put it. I guess you could say I had some kind of epiphany recently. It's been influencing my poems a bit. An epiphany? Yeah, something like that. Kind of nervous to talk about deep stuff like that because it's kind of coming on strongly. Maybe after everyone is better friends with each other. Anyway, here's Monica's writing tip of the day. Sometimes you're writing a poem or a story, your brain gets too fixated on a specific point. If you try so hard to make it perfect, then you'll never make any progress. Just force yourself to get something down on the paper and tidy it up later. Anyway, if you keep your pen in the same spot for too long, maybe it's talking about me trying to go back and fixing things? Go with the flow. Thanks for listening. All right, Yuri. Time to face my fears. Hello! Yuri reads the poem my illness for night. Exceptional. What was that? Did I say that out loud? Yuri first covers her mouth, but ends up covering her full face. He's going to hate me. You really didn't do anything wrong, Yuri. Huh? I guess you're right. What am I getting nervous for? Ha 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 ha! Yuri takes a deep breath. What kind of writing experience you have? Your use of imagery and metaphors indicate you've written a lot of poetry before. Really? Wow, it's a huge compliment coming from you. It's actually my first time. Huh? Yuri stares at me blankly and then looks for my poem again. Oh, I know that. I just mean, Yuri trails off, unable to find an excuse. She traces her finger along the words in the poem, as if breaking it down more thoroughly. Yeah. Okay, this is the reason I was able to tell. It's just that there are specific writing habits that are usually typical of new writers. And having been through those myself, I kind of learned to pick up on them. I think the most notable thing here is that you try to make their styles very deliberate. In other words, they tend to pick a writing style separate from the topic matter, and then they form fit the two together. The end result is both style and expressiveness are weakened. Once Yuri finds her train of thought, sorry, I skipped it. Her stammering, I just like want to find out what's happening. I'm sorry if it feels like I'm rushing. I am very intrigued. She sounds like an expert. Of course, it's not something you can be blamed for. There are many different skills and techniques that go into writing even a simple poem. Not just finding them or building them, but getting them to work together is probably the most challenging part. It might take you some time, but things come with practice and learning by example and trying new things. I hope that everyone else in the clubs gives some valuable feedback. Natsuki can be a little bit biased, though. Biased? How? Well, never mind. Shouldn't be talking about people like that. Sorry, it's fine. I'm not sure if Yuri is apologizing to herself, to me, or Natsuki. Do you mind if I read your poem? Oh, it's gonna be fucking creepy, isn't it? I'd love to share my thoughts on my process behind it. Watching itself is kind of funny. After all, isn't this supposed to be a literature club? Ghost under the light. Tendrils of my hair illuminate beneath the amber glow. Bathing. Must be this one. The last remaining streetlight to have withstood the test of time. The last yet to be replaced by sickening blue and green hue of the future. I bathe. I calm. Breathing the air of the present. But living in the past. The light flickers.
I flicker back.
I'm so sorry I have such terrible handwriting. What? I wasn't thinking that at all. But it took you a long time to read. Well, I just don't read script very often. I think your handwriting is pretty. That's a relief. I also like the poem. Even though it was short, it was really descriptive. It wasn't too short. I usually write longer poems. Not at all. Really glad you like it. I'll be honest. Since it's our first time sharing, I want to write something a little more mild. Something to easily digest, I suppose. Are you into ghosts, Yuri? Actually, the story isn't about a ghost at all, Ethan. Must have totally missed the point. Well, I suppose you didn't you did only glance over it after all. But remember that poets often express their own thoughts, feelings, and experiences in their work. They usually do more than tell a simple story or paint a picture. In this case, perhaps the subject of the poem is being symbolically compared to a ghost. Lingering in her last remaining place of comfort, unable to let go of the past, soon to be left with nothing. It's a little more solemn putting it that way. I hadn't even thought of that. It's impressive. It's nothing really. Yours is impressive too, so... Nah, if anything, I could probably learn a thing or two. Think so? Yeah, of course. You know, I was really nervous about doing all this, but in the end, I enjoyed it. I'm going to keep doing my best for you, Ethan. Guess that's everyone. That was a little more stressful than I anticipated. Yeah, you think? Even if everyone is judging me for my mediocre writing abilities, even if they're just being nice, there's no way my poems can stand up to theirs. Ugh. I guess that's what I ended up getting myself into. Across the room, Monica is writing something in her notebook. My eyes land on Yuri and Natsuki. They gingerly exchange sheets of paper, staring at their respective poems. As they read in tandem, I watch their expressions change. Natsuki's eyebrows furrow in frustration. Meanwhile, Yuri smiles sadly. What's with this language? Did you say something? It's nothing. Natsuki dismissively returns the poem to her desk with her hand. I guess you could say it's fancy. Thanks, yours is cute. Cute? Did you completely miss the symbolism? It's clearly about feeling of giving up. How can it be cute? I know that. I just meant the language, I guess. I'm trying to say something nice. I mean, you have to try that hard to come up with something nice to say? But it didn't really come out nice at all. Well, I do have a couple of suggestions. I was looking for suggestions. I would have asked someone who actually liked it. Which people did, by the way. Monica liked it, and Ethan did too. So based on that, I'll gladly give you some suggestions of my own. First of all, excuse me, appreciate the offer, but I've spent a long time establishing my writing style. Don't expect to change anytime soon unless, of course, I come across something particularly inspiring, which I haven't yet. And Ethan liked my poem too, you know. He even told me I was impressed by it. Natsuki stands up. Oh, I didn't realize you were so invested in trying to impress our new member, Yuri. That's not what Yuri stands up as well. Maybe you're just jealous that Ethan appreciates my advice more than he appreciates yours. Huh? And how do you know he didn't appreciate my advice more? And that you're full of yourself. Are you that full of yourself? No. If I was full of myself, I would deliberately go out of my way to make everything I do overly cutesy. Well, you know what? I wasn't the one whose boobs magically grew a size bigger as soon as Ethan started showing up. Natsuki, that's a little... This doesn't involve you. Taking your own insecurities into others like that. You're really acting as young as you look, Natsuki. Me? You wanna be an edgy bitch? Edgy? Sorry, my lifestyle. Just say something that proves my point. Most people learn to get over themselves when they graduate middle school, you know. If I want to prove everything, stop harassing others with a second attitude. I don't like this. I don't like this music at all. Think you can counterbalance your toxic personality just by dressing and acting cute? The only thing cute about you is how hard you try. Whoa, be careful or you might cut yourself on that edge, Yuri. Oh my bad, you already do, don't you? Oh, did you just accuse me of cutting myself? What the fuck is wrong with your head? Yeah, go on. Let Ethan hear everything you really think. I'm sure he'll be able to head over heels with you after this. Suddenly, Yuri turns toward me as if she's noticed I was standing here. Ethan, she's just trying to make me look bad. That's not true. She started it. What the fuck? What the fuck? I don't know who to choose. I don't know. I'll just go with that, Suki. What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck? What the fuck is going on right now? Hey, Ethan. Why don't we step outside for a little bit? Okay? Sorry about that. They really shouldn't have tried to get you involved. It's probably better for us to stay out of this. We'll go back inside once they're done yelling. Aha! Some president I am, right? I can't even comfort my own club members properly. I just wish I was able to be a little more assertive sometimes. But I never have it in me to put my foot down against others. You understand, right? Anyway, if this makes you want to spend less time with others, then that's fine. I'd be happy to spend some time with you instead. Suddenly, Natsuki runs out of the classroom. Aw. Oh dear. Well, it looks like they're done. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. I didn't mean it. Yuri is walking back and forth on her desk with her palms on her forehead. I didn't mean it. I believe you. I have no idea what Yuri might have said to Natsuki, or did. Ethan, please don't hate me. Please. I'm not like this. There's something wrong with me today. It's fine, Yuri. We know you didn't mean it. Besides, I'm sure Natsuki will forget all about it by tomorrow. Completely. What the fuck? Anyway, the meeting is over, so you can go home now if you want. Yuri looks at me as if she wants to say something, but keeps glancing at Monica. You can go first, Monica. I'd like to stay a little bit longer. I'm the president, so I should be the last one out. I'll wait for you to be done. Well, I'm vice president, so please let me take that responsibility today. Sounds like you don't want me around for something, Yuri. It's not that. It's not that. Just don't want to get much of a chance. I didn't get much of a chance to discuss my book with Ethan. Just be embarrassing with you listening. I guess I really don't have a choice, do I? Sorry for causing trouble, but I really... All right, I'm done for now. I'm done. I'll save twice, sure. All right. Fuck that. The music slowly pitch shifting and going faster and faster. For those of you that don't know, that fucking creeps me out. I used to have this reoccurring dream as a kid where that happened. And so that, like, I can't handle that. I don't know why. That's like one of the things that creeps me out more than anything. When people start speaking faster and faster, or like when music starts pitch shifting and getting faster and faster and gets to a point where I can't comprehend like what's happening, it fucking freaks me out so bad. It's so creepy and makes, it's so unsettling. And I don't know why. I think it's just because I had that reoccurring nightmare as a kid and that happened, so it like really fucks with me, but I hate that. But holy shit. A lot of stuff happened. I will let you guys think about this. And I will also think about this. So, Thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you did, make sure to slap that like button right in the face. I will see you guys in the next video. Love you all. Stay cranky. Bye.
What is up, my cranky crew?